Hello, everyone. I'm Natalia Bilbao, and here's what's happening in LA this week. 15 LAPD officers who exhibited exceptional courage, resolve, and amazing presence of mind were recently bestowed with the department's highest honors, the Medal of Valor, the Purple Heart, and the Preservation of Life Awards. Chief Michael Moore celebrated the heroism of these men and women in the Above and Beyond ceremony. Take a look.
Esta ceremonia la ofrecemos cada año, que es muy importante para el departamento. Es donde damos a los oficiales una medalla de valor. Unos incidentes donde algunos fueron heridos y con su valentía ellos todos modos hicieron su trabajo.
Today was an opportunity to recognize the heroism, the sacrifice, the dedication that sets these men and women apart from the average Angelino. But know that every one of them are serving for every Angelino, and I couldn't be prouder today.
Bueno, lo que significa es estamos orgullosos de esos oficiales que enfrentaron esos peligros y todavía están con nosotros orgullosamente trabajando en este momento. Pero es algo que hacemos las ceremonias.
It's very humbling, and what really shocked me is after 50 years I thought, well, the department's kind of forgot about it, and then I got a phone call. You're being honored, and I'm very humbled by it. And as a side note, I have a son on the job now too. I was a little against him joining the department, but no, he wanted to join the department and follow his dad's footsteps.
The officers just do what they naturally want to do and run towards the danger. And I honestly think it's long overdue for his bravery and the injuries he sustained from doing that.
Reserve Officer Frank Pettinato.
You know, these are heroes because of the fact that they faced peril, they faced mortality, they faced chaos, and in that moment, they could have sought refuge. They sought to protect and to serve. We honor them today. They're emblematic of what every man and woman in this organization goes out to do each day, which is to serve the people of Los Angeles. I couldn't be prouder today of making these awards, providing them as some small measure of that we see them, we hear them, and we honor them.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is with tremendous pride and thanks that I present to you the Los Angeles Police Department's 2021 medal recipients.
It is more than a museum. It is a cinematic journey, a visual celebration that pays tribute to the tireless efforts and performances in front of and behind the camera.
The idea of a motion picture museum is so exciting. Absolutely magical. Oh my God, I'm just so proud to be an Angelino today.
We have the Ruby Slippers, we have E.T.'s here, Rosebud from Citizen Kane is here. There's something for every movie lover in the world. So just to see our visitors enjoy those great objects, it's going to be really fulfilling for us.
My brother's also, he's in the movie business, and he was excited about the opening. And there's a concert actually later today, a Wizard of Oz orchestrated concert. So we're excited to see that.
Oh my God, every exhibit, the one with R2-D2 and all the statues and stuff was unbelievable.
You know, I'm an Angelino, and I don't think you can be an Angelino without being a caretaker of this industry, of movies and television, whether it's friends who visit here, and you take them to Hollywood.
And because of the confluence of cultural institutions, because of the huge number of people who live in this area, this is a place from where we're going to reimagine living in Los Angeles.
La visión de esta museo a incluir toda la gente, hispanoamericanos, afroamericanos, visiones asiáticos. Este es muy importante para todos porque nosotros somos los dueños de este museo, esta ciudad y esta industria.
What do you get when Council District 4 teams up with some incredible volunteers, the LA Public Library and Hollywood Forward, to lend a much-needed hand to those experiencing homelessness? Take a look.
So we're out here in the parking lot of the Durant Library doing a neighborhood support day for people experiencing homelessness. And we have a bunch of volunteers who signed up through our council office, and we're doing this in partnership with Hollywood Forward, the Hollywood Food Coalition, the Los Angeles Public Library System, which has been an incredible partner, and a whole bunch of other service providers who are here serving people who are experiencing homelessness. It's an incredible collection of resources that we've brought to one place to serve people who are in need, who are in and around this area.
We are having a great turnout today, and we've got a lot of people here looking for a lot of services that they depend on. We've got food, we've got showers, we've got vaccines. There's just a ton of medical help. There's just a ton of resources, and it really hasn't come together in one spot like this since before the pandemic. So it really is a special occasion, and it's really a great chance to get to help all these people at once.
This is one of our programs, which is Dignity on Wheels, and we provide free laundry and shower services to the homeless. And we also connect them to caseworkers who can help them with other things they may need assistance in. Some services that one program might not provide, another program provides. And just being able to network and be aware of that, it allows for the homeless to be connected to more resources than they normally would if these type of groups weren't interacting.
I had a hard life growing up. I was kicked out of my house at like 13 and living on the streets, and working with people who I can truly identify with is my passion. One cut can change somebody's perspective on life. I've helped many people just with a haircut get a job. So I come out here whenever I can and just give back to the community.
So there was a real sense of loss when we couldn't do this anymore because of the pandemic. So when you see your patrons coming back and you see a lot of people, and a lot of them look like they're doing better, so it's just really fantastic.
If people want to get involved in this kind of stuff, come to our website, councildistrict4.lacity.org, sign up for our newsletter, which sends out opportunities to volunteer, and you can get involved anywhere.
Councilmember Kevin DeLeon and a few of his constituents took to the East LA trails recently. Some ran, some walked, but everyone was there to support the Wilson High School Fire and Police Magnet Cadet program. Take a look at the Ascot Hills 5K Challenge.
We're in El Sereno. We are at Ascot Hills. Beautiful open space here this morning. It's a beautiful morning here in Los Angeles. And we have so many folks from the community that are going to run. It is Ascot Hills Challenge. It's a 5K. It is 3.1 miles. This is a tough course because it's not flat. It is hilly.
My son has been participating here his 4 years of high school, and this is his last year. So we have been supporting. We're here to support all of the kids here.
I'm running because it helps me keep motivated when it comes to like emotional or mental lows. It helps me keep up with all the stuff going on.
Start slowly running and do the first mile, and then every week you just add one more mile, and until March comes, and then you run the action marathon.
The Los Angeles Metro Board has approved a free transit pilot program for students. Under this new program, students in grades K through 12, as well as residents currently enrolled in community college, will be able to ride Metro fare-free during this 23-month pilot program. The free fares begin November 1st, and a majority of the funding for the pilot program will be paid through the Federal American Rescue Plan. For more information on this free transit pilot program, visit metro.net. Governor Gavin Newsom has signed a bill advancing LA County's return of Bruce's Beach to the Bruce family heirs. Willa and Charles Bruce were African Americans who purchased coastline land in 1912 for $1,225. What began as a California resort for blacks quickly became a target of the area's white populace. In 1924, the Bruce property was seized through a racially motivated manipulation of eminent domain laws.
We all have an obligation to insist that justice is done in the instance of that family.
Governor Newsom's action has enabled LA County to return the property, now estimated to be worth $75 million, back to the family it was taken from nearly a century ago. Los Angeles City Controller Ron Galperin has released a new online map that features helpful information for Angelenos in preparation of natural disasters. Get Ready, Stay Prepared gives a rundown of the city's numerous emergency preparation resources. This resource map provides the locations of LA's fire stations and police stations, as well as other important civic buildings that Angelenos may need to access before and after a natural disaster. To explore this new map, visit lacontroller.org/get-ready-stay-prepared.
When your decor includes pumpkins, skeletons, and creepy crawlers, it's a pretty good sign that Halloween is back at the LA Zoo. Boo at the Zoo is a scary treat and family fun celebration, featuring a mad sign show, a magician, a graveyard, and an eerie stroll with photo ops. Check out this spooky story.
Halloween is back at the LA Zoo.
We came last year and they didn't have this event last year, and now this year they rebrought it.
We're so excited to bring Boo at the LA Zoo back. It's happening every day in October. So daily, people can come here and enjoy a spooky stroll. You can explore and discover hauntingly fun decor that's fun for all ages. There are also 2 really cute pumpkin photo ops available every day.
We are Halloween people completely. Super excited for it. Already got pictures. I absolutely love it.
So it brings a good experience to families.
More things that people can enjoy every day during Boo at the LA Zoo. It's something called the Extinct Animal Graveyard, where we memorialize animals that are no longer existing on this earth, such as the dodo. And we also have signage that informs the public about species that were saved from extinction through the efforts of zoos and aquariums and conservation partners like the California condor.
I think it's fabulous. We've been waiting a while. We've been waiting for it to open up so we can come back in and see all the animals and let her keep growing and learning about, all the fun animals that are here that we don't get to see every day.
Very educational. Like I said, there's different sections where you can touch, like fossils, so definitely outdoor learning experience.
Look for signs throughout the zoo with very interesting, sometimes wacky, sometimes creepy facts about animals that you know and love, and some that are new to you.
I think that this maze has definitely improved from previous years. There's a lot of more hands-on interaction, and I think it's still, spooky but acceptable for children for their age.
One of our core missions at the zoo is connecting people with wildlife and inspiring that next generation of conservationists. And the best way to protect something is to feel empathy for that thing. And so every day we want to create meaningful connections between our guests and wildlife so that together people and wildlife can thrive.
To learn more about Boo at the Zoo and the many additional Halloween happenings there, visit lazoo.org. Romeo and Juliet are back in the spotlight. Well, sort of. In the heart of historic downtown Canoga Park, the Madrid Theater is hosting the Purtle Ballet Company and their live on-stage performance of Sweet Sorrow, a zombie ballet. I know, it sounds a little scary. Let's take a peek at the rehearsal.
Today we're in rehearsals for our upcoming production of Sweet Sorrow, a zombie ballet. It's a sequel to Romeo and Juliet, so it takes place after the lovers are dead. It's great for Halloween because it's got zombies and vampires and werewolves.
It's a werewolf that likes to eat ballerinas. If you'd like to watch me eat a ballerina, you should join us on the 16th and 17th of October, right here.
This show will be at the Madrid Theater in Canoga Park. As soon as we walked in, we loved this theater.
Ballet, I think, isn't just all pink and frills. It's so fun to be able to think outside of the box from traditional ballet, but that's the beauty of it, the ability to tell a story through movement.
Because we are not able to speak, the whole story has to be told through movement. The production came together as a full-length ballet in 2017, and we've been doing it every year since then.
I think the message that Lee is trying to send out to the world is ballet is for everybody, and you should feel welcome to join us.
So we will be performing Sweet Sorrow Zombie Ballet on Saturday, October 16th at 7 p.m. and on Sunday, October 17th at 4 p.m. And you can get tickets on our website, which is www.leepurtleballetcompany.org. We try to do shows that are accessible to a lot of different people. It's like people who love horror, people who love science fiction or fantasy. We tell stories that are for everybody to enjoy. You don't just have to like Swan Lake.
What does drumming do for your brain, your heart, your mind? The LA Public Library wants you to know that your health matters. Drumming for Your Life is more than a new program. It's a resource that uses the energy of rhythm to help let go of your stress and welcome creativity. Take a look.
The library's had several programming already ongoing related to helping those who have experienced some trauma or challenges in their lives. So when we heard about the Life Skills Drumming program through a community partner of ours, we just knew it would be a really good fit and a good way to expand the programming opportunities related to mental wellness.
Well, I started about 22 years ago, actually. I wanted to get back into drumming. I drummed my whole life, and then I sort of got away from it, and then I decided to get back into it, but I wanted to do something to help other people.
Well, so many people who come in here talk about what an inviting space it is and how it really creates a sense of peace and solace. And so we thought something like that, it's sort of meditative, would be a great marriage as well.
We've had previous iterations of it. We've had it at the Central Library, also our Benjamin Franklin and Hollywood regional branches, but they were virtual due to the circumstances at those times, obviously. And so this is the first time we're having an in-person life skills drumming program.
It's not about learning how to play the drum. This has nothing to do with that. But you'll hear some really cool drumming come out of it, but all they're doing is expressing what they're experiencing. It becomes their voice. And the exercises are set up to take them into certain areas within themselves and to open those areas up.
The participants have really expressed that they've enjoyed the engaging conversation and the discussion that happens. Also that they feel very safe in the space to express themselves authentically. And we had some participant write in saying that she looked forward to it every week and it was just the highlight of her week. So it's been a very rewarding experience, really.
Councilmember Nithya Raman is in good company with a panel of steadfast and intuitive women as they examine the varying degrees of interpersonal violence and address the causes, effects, treatment, and prevention.
A devastatingly common issue among Angelenos, and one that is all too often unseen: interpersonal violence, also known as domestic violence. This is just an astounding statistic, but nearly 1/3 of the women who seek care from hospital emergency rooms are there for injuries resulting from domestic violence, a truly staggering statistic.
The numbers are astonishingly high, and particularly for certain subset populations. 60% of bisexual women will experience intimate partner violence. 50% of trans people. LGBTQ youth are 3 times likely to experience dating violence.
When we think about domestic violence, we think about physical abuse, but in reality, it can be anything from economic abuse, emotional abuse, psychological abuse, and sexual abuse. It's any type of behavior that one person is trying to use to gain power and control over the other person.
It's not necessarily, like you said, always stereotypical, male, female. It runs the gamut now, and our officers are educated, they understand, and the importance of that.
We do see that, undocumented folks are less likely to call the police, for fear of deportation. Another thing is we don't ask people, for a documentation status or anything like that, but when we speak to people, they say, well, we didn't think that this was available to us. People are under the impression that they don't have the same rights or, the same services as others.
There's a deep stigma. And there is just a feeling of shame, and that is deeply rooted in a person's ability to come forward and seek help. And I think, again, if we're really trying to expand the definition and support more individuals that are experiencing this type of trauma, we have to look beyond the physical and look at, again, the psychological and the emotional and the economic abuse. Oftentimes, again, there's control over them, and so it could be that they're not allowed to work, and so where do they go, especially if they have children?
If we can start shifting away from just waiting to need physical violence to intervene, then I think we can really have the conversations about prevention and early intervention that can hopefully help, I think, change systemically just the significant prevalence.
If you are in immediate need of assistance, please call LA County's Domestic Violence 24-hour support line at 1-800-978-3600.
Celebrated nationwide through festivals, art shows, and community gatherings, Hispanic Heritage Month is a time to acknowledge the vast contributions and extensive history of the Latin American community. Councilmember Gil Cedillo emphasizes that voice as he reflects on the legacy and diverse culture.
This is a city that is half Mexican or Mexican American or Chicano. Then it's Central American, and then it's Latin American. And so we get this month to profile all the contributions, the cultural, the social, and the political contributions that are being made in the city. This is a city of rich history and diversity, but also of incredible social and political tragedies. This was a city in which people right down the street, born here, were snatched, grabbed, picked up, and sent to Mexico, even though they weren't from Mexico, even though they didn't speak Spanish. This was a city where there were many deportations. If we don't recognize that, we're in the danger of repeating that. It's important for us to know our history, and it's important for us to know the value and the benefit and the contributions of the Latino community. In the fields, some of the hardest work done to make sure that our shelves are filled with fresh fruits and vegetables every day. But in those fields, there was a man who's arguably the premier brain surgeon of the country. He's called Dr. Q. He came out of the fields. There's an astronaut named Jose Hernandez. He came out of the fields. He's an astronaut representing our country. And there's a lot of talent throughout our cities and in this city. All the dreamers, all the children of the essential workers of the city, their children have great contributions to make. That's why I was honored and so proud to pass the DREAM Act that enabled them to get scholarships. After they got admitted to our finest schools, like the UCLAs and the UC Berkeleys, etc., they were able to apply for the DREAM Act scholarship. And they have great contributions to make, and our city will benefit from it. And so that's why it's important to know our history, and that's why Hispanic Heritage Month is important to the city of LA.
In our feature story this week, it began more than 7 years ago as an all-girl party. Today, it has blossomed into a thriving program. Meet Pretty in Pink.
Well, it's no surprise that playing in a park is good for a young person's physical health. But there's a remarkable program that's part of LA Rec and Parks that's good for a young woman's emotional and mental health. It's called Pretty in Pink. So it's basically a conference.
Yeah,
it's a conference. Okay, so it's one day.
Yes.
When did you realize that this was something that you needed to support and actually help them with?
Well, after going to one of the conferences, I saw how large it was, and from that I knew that there needed to be more sponsorship. I mean, they were really going out scrambling on their own, trying to get people to come in and actually assist with purchasing items for them. So as a department, we could get that support to get more funding for the program.
The girls were interested in some of the more serious topics and not necessarily just the goodie bag.
Yes. I know for me, one of the things that I heard a lot of girls talk about was self-esteem. And I would hear comments that they will make about themselves, and they weren't positive, or they will hear comments at school, and they'd be like, well, the whole school thinks I'm ugly. Or I heard girls talk about the color of their skin, or, you know, the tint, like different things like that. So I'm like, self-esteem is like really important, and I think we definitely need to touch on that. And I think when we have those sessions and we have women that are of different ethnicities come and speak to them and tell them about their struggles, I think it empowers them and lets them know that, like, those faulty thoughts that I had are not true, because here is a woman standing in front of me who has done it, who's achieved, who's overcome.
It's hard enough to be a young woman in this world, but, you know, to actually be able to voice it. Were you surprised that the girls were willing to talk? Because sometimes it's difficult to express yourself when you're young and you're not really quite sure what you're thinking in your head. Were you surprised at what the girls said at these conferences?
I was and I wasn't. The thing that helped some of the girls is that they were able to interact with different girls from different communities. So then it was the sense of, oh, I'm not by myself. I'm hearing from other, you know, girls from the Valley or from East LA or, you know, South LA. And they're seeing that they're basically having the same issues.
Okay, so if somebody wants to learn more about this program, what's the easiest, best, and most direct way for them to find out?
I would say laparks.org. Just go to our website, and definitely they would contact us, and that way they would find out more.
And then I imagine there's some things beyond the website as well.
Right, so we have our Facebook page and our Instagram page, which is at Pretty and Pink Empowerment.
I really appreciate your time. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you know a high schooler that's interested in the performing arts? The Music Center is currently accepting applications for the Spotlight Academy, a free arts scholarship and training program. The Spotlight Academy is open to SoCal high school students at any skill level. It's an invaluable opportunity for the student actor, singer, musician, or dancer in your life to compete for $100,000 in cash scholarships. Online applications must be completed by Monday, October 18th. For more information and to apply, visit musiccenter.org. You are invited to the LA Public Library's Tech Thursdays Drop-In Tech Help event. Here's how it works. Bring your own device such as smartphones, laptops, and tablets to the Central Library. Library staff can assist with basic issues such as how to download an ebook or send an email with an attachment. If staff members are unable to assist you with your specific issue, they will point you to resources that can help. Get to know your electronics better at Tech Thursday. The next event is Thursday, October 14th, beginning at 3 p.m. The event happens at the Carson Center for New Technologies at the Central Library. For more information, visit lapl.org/events. The Autry Museum of the American West invites you to check out their sizzling Summer Nights Latin playlist. The Autry series of outdoor performances of salsa and Latin fusion has moved online for the 2021 season. Enjoy selections from artists such as Carla Morrison, Jorge Drexler, Mercedes Sosa, and many more. You can enjoy the playlist while visiting the Autry in person or from the comfort of your own home. You can find the playlist and additional artist interviews by visiting the music and poetry section of the autry.org/visit. And that's a look at some things to do.
And that's it for this edition. I am Natalia Bilbao, and from all of us here at LA This Week, thank you so much for joining us. A reminder that you can catch us online at lacityview.org, and we're also on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. See you next time for more LA This Week.